see what we got in the bag. Velcro. The Gasket Professionals Trust. Part is 0OS30696. And it states that it's an oil pan set. There's some other words on here in Dutch or German and I think French or something. What does it mean in all these languages? Oil pan front seal. In Japanese and USA it stands for oil pan rear seal. RTV black tube, blah blah blah. Let's open it up. You have these two O-rings here, and it's an oil pan gasket. You gotta clean the maintenance surfaces, check pan flanges. So basically, I guess one side of this is supposed to be on that crank rear main seal crank gasket. The other half moon crescent goes on the other side on the upper oil pan where it respectively fits the other side of the crank, and as you can see that part is relatively bigger. So just open it. Okay. These two rubber pieces are very thick in compound. They're very thick, kind of like gummy worms, thicker than gummy worms, of course. As you can see, these two gaskets are two different sizes. One for one side of the crank near the harmonic balancer, the other one for the crank on the flywheel side. I'll show you where it goes. This is the box you will order your rear main seal. Velcro part number is BS40631. I bought this from Advanced Auto. Let's see. Came with your little felt or whatever little thing gasket. I don't remember seeing one of these on the one that I pulled off. It probably was on there and whatnot, but yeah, so you want that on there. Even though you have to use the gawking, the RTV seal it anyway, so I don't know why they gave this to me. Maybe use the RTV on the bottom, then you put this on the top, and it should seal properly like that. I mean, I'll give it a try. Like, it is a gasket is a gasket, but it's paper, you know, it's freaking cardboard paper. So this is your rear main seal. Weighs about 2 pounds maybe. As you can see, underneath here, the little dimple and whatnot, that's what usually leaks. So this right here is supposed to have not the short one. Let's see, it's supposed to have this big one on there. And guess what? It comes with a little nipple to tell you where it goes. Great. That works out so much. So yeah, let's see, does it press right into there? Yep. It presses right in there. This little seal here. It just presses right in there. The problem with that is it's not just gonna sit there on the load and vibration of the engine. I really feel calm when you put in some type of RTV seal on this. Just to make sure it doesn't go anywhere and just to make sure it seals correctly. I'll show you my old one. The old rear main seal had the same gasket. And as you can see, that gasket has broken away and it was RTV probably holding it, as well as RTV all the way throughout the edges of that rear main seal, which which makes sense to do. It's just not going to sit flush and not have any kind of leak. I wouldn't trust it. So heat got to this, and it was time for it to go. And the part number on this old ass one is BH5149F, and could be OEM. Could be. Has Nissan logo on it and all that. It says 12296 and space and 31U10. So yeah. The company is what? NGK or NOK? Same company. Same company. As you can see, there's no gasket on the back, that paper gasket. The person used RTV and seal up the whole thing from top to bottom. So I'm gonna try to replicate that because it seems like the best possible thing. I mean, using this against that block, if you will, yeah, you might need a little space in there. I don't think this will be perfectly fit. It might be perfect, but I don't trust it. It's so flimsy that it's ripping already. I would use RT on the whole thing. And that's what I plan on doing. As you can see, the crank itself goes through that hole, so anything underneath this is just basically dropping down into the oil pan. So don't be scared. Use the RTV very wisely in respects to whatever gets in your oil pan will clog up the sump, the oil pickup, and you'll be having oil starvation issues, and most likely you're gonna have to drop your lower oil pan and try to get to that screen and see what's going on. So make sure you're just being neat and nice with it, since you got the remain seal out of the car. Do it now, let it cure, wipe off the excess, and should be good. Where's that seal that they gave me? They gave me a tube of seal here, some RTV black. RTV black by Velcro. I got high temperature red, RTV red. But you know what? They gave me this. I might as well just use the sun, bitch. I might as well just use it now, put it out in the sun to cure and stuff like that. Just for this little thing to go on there. Let's see. I mean, it fits in there so nicely that all you gotta do is lift up and it's off. But I really have a problem just leaving it there like that. So I'm gonna put some RTV on it all the way out to the edges. Alright, let's get dirty. Let's see if I can see. I'm pretty sure this is the one that you punch in and then you start using it, so that's always good. Let me get some gloves on just in case the stuff starts to be sticking to me. I got orange goop to get this off, so let me just get some gloves. Shut up, dryer. You owe me money, dryer. Talking about General Electric. Save energy. Save cash. You're a son of a bitch, ain't you? I'm gonna put this one back in the plastic so I don't lose it. These two O-rings, I do not know where they go right now. I don't know if they're to any part of the flywheel or anything. These little O-rings here, I don't know where they go. And the only thing that this instruction guide is saying is about the oil pan gasket, clean maintenance services, attaching a line the end seals, which I guess, I don't know what the hell they talk. Oh, they're talking about the bolt holes. The bolt holes get some kind of bolt holes get some kind of grommets or something. Whatever. If I ever take out the lower oil pan, I'll let you know. So I had oil collecting in my my lower oil pan, right there where you change your oil and you feel on top of that oil pressure sending unit or whatever that is, the sensor is, and you know how the oil top of the oil pan has that lip, and oil collects in there, so you think it's coming from your valve covers and coming all the way down. Guess what? It's not that. I thought it was a lower oil pan gasket. Upper oil pan starting to leak. Guess what? I took out my transmission, and it's not that. There's no oil coming from the upper oil pan in any way, shape, or form. The oil is coming from a bad rear main seal. It's getting past this some way, shape, or form. I think out through the sides. It's collecting in my transmission and throwing it everywhere, getting all over my starter, causing a no start, hard start issue. And it comes out of the tranny and it starts running all over the block. So that's basically where that oil is coming from. So this RTV sealant says pop it open 1/16 to 1/8 size of the continuous bead around, to the part, and you have to assemble the parts within 5 minutes. So what they're talking about, for those of you who don't know what they're talking about, is whatever you need the silicone or the RTV sealant for, you're going to put the gasket first, the RTV first, let it set for a little while, within like 3 minutes, that way it could, thicken up a little, and then press whatever it is firmly on there evenly, let it just set, press, give it a little love, get all those air bubbles out, if any, and it should cure fully within 24 hours, but that's what they're saying. They're saying that it forms some kind of a skin. The skin time is 15 minutes. Alright, let's see if we could get some skin. Alright, I'll use this beat up bottle first before anything else. And, let's see. To get a continuous bead, maybe I should just squeeze the bottom here first before doing anything else, and hopefully it'll be nice enough to come out real smooth for me. It's open, folks. I wish it was red though. I kind of like that red look. So I'm gonna run a bead from one side to the next. Let's see if you can see that. Which side should I start on? Alright, I'll start from this side. Oh man, how fucking far apart is that shit? Let's see, right up to there. Where you get your little thing. Because I can't do it now and let it cure and then have to run to the car and hurry up and put it on. I got surfaces to clean out there, the old gasket. So I wanted to run to like right there. Yeah, so I'll just, if anything, I'll just wipe it off or whatever. After pressing it down, so let's just get it started. Keep it straight, 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 keep it straight. Stop being a pussy. smells like fucking Elmer's Fudd glue. As you can see down in the DM here, it goes down in the DM that it's an even bead. It does not fully collect down there because once I press this in there, it'll all squish down. So I think I was pressing it a little too hard, so I need to drag it a little bit more evenly, but this is good. This is actually good. It came out really thick down here, but that's good because I get a chance to wipe the excess. So right now it's 10:16 on my brother's clock. 10:16, August 28th, Sunday morning. These are like Sunday morning. Oh, suck my max. Hold on. I got a rag. A who rag? You riding? You rolling? Jim Jones. Ow. Alright, cool. So yeah, we're gonna let this sit. Pick up this damn tripod, this camera tripod. Let's see what we got. Come on, pan out, pan out. Give me a nice little even picture here that I can take. Okay. The set time they said is within 5 effing minutes. Let it pan out. Touch the screen, let it pan out. I have a cell phone tripod, so it's really nice to have something hold my phone for me and record at the same time. I can freelance it, just wing it. I got this Galaxy S5 on full HD, and I do not know how it's gonna look with this 16mm camera, 16MP, whatever. So it's been 2 minutes already, probably, because I've been talking shit, but look at that nice little glaze. Like, once you pop your cherry and use an RTV, and just, you know, it's just like using glue. Don't be scared of getting excess. Have something around to wipe it off. Hurry up. Don't be scared about what bead size you should get, because chances are you're using the silicone to touch surfaces together. That means you're going to be squishing something against something else, and the RTV is going to spread. Don't be scared if you have a gap. See that gap? Don't be scared, because whatever you press on it, it's going to spread. It's going to spread like Sunday morning, baby. And The Rock says, so, see that little dimple? Basically, your engine is like this. Your crank is looking right at you. That's the bottom. That's a bolt hole or a dowel pin or whatever. That's a bolt hole, that's a bolt hole, that's a bolt hole. That's for dowels. That's already on that oil pan. Don't worry about that. Just don't lose the screws, or else you're going to have to go to a parts car. Alright, so I'm going to start pressing this damn thing on. I'm tired of waiting. Make sure before you press it on that it's facing the same way. See that little dimple, that little titty or whatever? I'm going to start from the middle and let it squeeze outwards. So here goes nothing. Come on, baby, come on. I should have held it in the middle. Come on, baby, come on. I mean, it's alright. Even if it rubs just a little bit, it's still squeezing in the middle first. Ooh, it's squirting out of there. Who the F messed up my video? Going in the bathroom, man. Squeeze it outwards, because I never did this before, and my common sense tells me to do that, so I'm just gonna press firmly and start working it in there. And yeah, I knew you was gonna get wet, baby. I knew you was gonna get wet, girl. Giggity, giggity, giggity. Oh, making sounds from me, girl. Anyways, yeah, let me just get that all pressed down in there. Look how nasty this is. Look how sloppy it is. I like it sloppy. Now we can start wiping the excess. Let me press a few more times just so I can make sure that it's firmly on there or in the little dimple. I mean, even if it's not, like, there's so much RTV in there right now that it feels great. It looks great, like it's tight. It's only 10:27 in the morning, so a full cure time of this would be tomorrow in the morning. But I'll be at work, so. Okay, so my RTV is fully pressed in there. This is what I wanted. I wanted the RTV to overlap whatever so I could wipe off the excess. But the main thing is, I wanted to make sure that there was no way it would leak. And with that too, I gotta press that a little bit more. Press it down. Jerking down, jerking down, jerking down. Okay, let me get some, start wiping it. Honey child is getting ready to cure. Honey boo boo. Let me press that on there. Let me wipe off the excess. It's disgusting. Looks like black pigeon poop. That ain't me, by the way. Okay, it's still good. I can still see that it's under this part. That's the only thing I care about. As long as it's under the part and it collected enough to make sure that this is sitting firm, then I'm happy. I'm gonna start pressing it more firm now. Some people got these notions that if you do not wipe off the excess or whatever it is, get out the way, man. If you don't wipe off the excess, that it will get into your oil pan and fuck up everything. So to negate that or whatever it is, or to argue that fact, that on some cars, I guess it can happen. I don't know about Nissan Maximas if that ever happened in the past from mechanics and dealership mechanics replacing rear main seals, but look how skinny that seal actually is, and look at the RTV squeezing out around it. That means that this maiden part right here in the back is going flush against it's like you set it over the crank and it presses up against it, and the crank is supposed to or the lower oil pan is supposed to seal around that. You get what I'm saying? So it's gonna be flush up against the oil pan. I don't think it'll do that much damage if you wipe it correctly. So just continue wiping the cylinder. It's starting to stick to my glove, so let me hurry up and it's starting to stick to my glove, the excess. So let me hurry up and just, wipe off both sides. That's the front of it. You don't want this stuff all over your engine. I got gasket remover aerosol or whatever spray in the car, so even if I don't get all this off today, I mean, it's alright. Let me just make sure it's a flat spread there. There you go. That's all I really care about, is making sure it's flat. That's it. Done. Finished. Doesn't look perfect, but it looks damn sure better than the old one. Haha. these nuts. Guy. Yeah, I think I'll leave a good little amount on this because heat. That's the reason why I like putting a certain amount and it building up. I don't want to wipe too much away. I need it to be rigid enough so that... Ma, stop yelling. I need it to be rigid enough that if there's vibration and heavy load on the crank, that it will not fault. It will not falter. It will not fail. It will not cease to be successful. So it's 10:26 still. What time was it when I began? I don't think that clock is moving. But yeah, this stuff is really starting to build up and seal. So for the last time after that, make sure that I pressed everything correctly and just sit here and mess with it a little bit. Make sure that all these air pockets are out. Just sit here and lay on it a little bit. Follow it all the way around. Woman, mind your manners. William doesn't want to get the blue dress. Okay. That looks good. That looks real good. That looks really, really good. It looks like I can deal with it. Now, was I supposed to put this part on that upper oil pan first and then put the crank seal in? Time will tell. But I think that if you put the RTV on there correctly, make sure it's an even bead. You can put it in either way. You don't have to put that black seal or gasket on the oil pan and then this. Like it doesn't make sense to me. I'd rather do it this way to make sure this part that usually fails is at least sealed up with enough compound or RTV sealant and is not excessive enough that it can't seal properly. Capiche? Capiche. Yeah, I'm going to sit outside in the sunlight. It's almost 100 degrees outside anyway. So 24 hours cure time is going to chop down until about 8. See ya.